Welcome everyone to the Live Wire. I'm Kirsten Kure. I'm the External Relations Director for the Belk College of Business at UNC Charlotte. And today I have two guests with me. I have Brittany Nunn, who is a student here in the Belk College and the president of the Business Honors Program. And I have Dr. Ted Amato, who is the director of the Business Honors Program and also professor of economics. We're going to be talking to both of them for the next few minutes. So Dr. Amato, I'd like to start with you and ask you a few questions about the Business Honors Program itself. Tell us about the program, what it is, and when it started, and how you became involved.
The program, Kirsten, the program was first created in 1993, so we're a little over 20 years old now. Sort of the three pillars of the program have always been scholarship, leadership, and community service, and that they have been an ongoing theme for the program the whole time that the program has been in existence. I started as a faculty member teaching in the program, taught the economics sequence from 1993 through 2008, all but just a couple of semesters in there. Someone else taught the program. And then about 5 years ago I became the director of the program.
And tell us a little bit about who the program is for, who's currently in the program, and maybe tell us about how many students have been involved over time, too.
Gosh, I wouldn't even begin to guess how many we've had historically. We admit in the range of 30 to 35 per year. Right now we have about 95 students in the program. We're on our way to about 120 students in the program. What we're looking for are students who are a combination of academic excellence. We certainly want students who are among the very best on campus academically, but we also want students who want a different experience in terms of both leadership and professional development. So we have components of the program that serve both those needs, that really develop the students academically, but also provide for professional development.
Excellent. And my understanding is you have students from the freshman all the way to the senior level.
Yes.
And in a variety of disciplines and majors. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes. All majors in the College of Business are represented. Up until 5 years ago, when I became the director of the program, the only point at which students could enter was at the freshman year. And the idea was that we recruited students as seniors in high school. They came in as freshmen and kind of went through the program as a cohort. When I became director, we started admitting some students as sophomores, and then this next spring, I'm glad to say, we're going to enroll our first group of incoming juniors who will enter the program as first semester juniors. So now we have really three entry points, incoming freshmen, beginning of the sophomore year, and beginning of the junior year.
Excellent, which leads us to how people would get involved in the program. So tell us a little bit about the application process itself, if you could.
The application is available on the Belk College webpage. We identify students that we think would be particularly good candidates and usually reach out to them by email, but by all means I would not discourage a student from applying. What we're looking for on the academic side is kind of a minimum of 3.5 GPA. That's the minimum GPA to be in the program. And then the remainder of the criteria would be various things to demonstrate leadership and interest in business and those sorts of criteria, kind of softer criteria than just the hard academic numbers.
Excellent. And how is it different, or could people be in other honors programs, such as the University Honors Program or Levine Scholars? How would you differentiate yourself, or also say that people might be involved in both? What are the points of difference there?
I think probably the two biggest differences between the Business Honors Program and the other honors program on campus is, first of all, we have students who, although they're not all in the same major, they come from common general academic interests. All of our students are interested in business, so that's one big difference in our program and the other programs. And then the other thing that would really differentiate us is the professional development opportunities. We have relationships with businesses in the Charlotte area and really throughout the region. And they're regular participants in business honors programs that provide the students the opportunity to interact with business people and develop some mentoring relationships and those sorts of things that I don't think would be components of the other honors programs.
And tell us maybe one example of an alum that you know of who has graduated from the Business Honors Program, the type of person that this becomes.
Well, I mean, the very obvious one is Ms. Julie Harris, who's been incredibly successful at Bank of America and who has really given back to the Business Honors Program through the years. Ms. Harris graduated in the Business Honors Program. I wouldn't put an exact date on it, but went to work with Bank of America and has always viewed one of her responsibilities to be to help mentor the students who come along, and she's been quite active in that. She is one of many BHP alum who have given back to the program in various ways by being program participants or helping to arrange internships for students or just serving as a mentor to the current students.
That's excellent. And now we have a student who's in the program right now and helping to lead the program, really.
Yes.
So Britt, if you could tell us a little bit about your major, where you're from, but also how you heard about the Business Honors Program as you were considering it.
So I'm a junior and I'm from the Raleigh-Cary area, and I'm double majoring management and finance. I have a minor in American Studies, and I found out through the program I think it was through the mail. And I didn't know where I wanted to go for college, and I got this letter about UNC Charlotte in the program. So I looked it up a little bit, and me and my parents ended up attending the open house for the Belk College. And I went and I visited, I saw the table, and I just got really interested because I felt that I wanted to attend a college and be in a program where I could stand out versus blending in.
Excellent. And tell us a little bit about your leadership role in BHP.
So I'm the president this year. I was elected, and I do things. I work with my exec board to plan professional meetings. So every month we have 2 professional meetings where we can network and develop as a program. So like tonight at 5 o'clock, we're meeting with Perlmeyer and Partners. So we'll hear from them about their company as well as be able to talk to them and learn from them about their experience and how they got to be where they are today. We also plan community service events. We have a minimum requirement of attending certain events, so I have to make sure that we have enough events for everyone to attend and meet their requirements so we can give back to the community, as well as social events. So we'll have things like an ice cream social or fun things so that there's over 90 of us, so we really want to get to know each other and just kind of be a big family so that we can lean and support on each other as we go through college.
And you are not only leading Business Honors Program, but you're involved in a few other things. Tell us about the other things that you're doing on campus and in your life.
So I also have an internship at a company called Sabic Innovative Plastic. So I work about 20 hours a week there. I also just joined a new sorority, Alpha Chi Omega. I'm the VP of Finance for them. So it's a lot of balancing, of scheduling, of really writing in and making sure that I have priorities, which is school and work and BHP, and making sure that everything just is carried out and nothing's left behind. So every year I feel like I take on a little bit more. I learn my limits, and I learn that not to take on too much and get overwhelmed. So I've joined other clubs earlier in my school years, and so I've just kind of gone off of those and learned to balance everything and prioritize.
Excellent. And what do you hope to do when you graduate?
When I graduate, I'm thinking of going into sports management. So right now I'm more in the finance side and banking side, and so I'm hoping that will lead up to managing sports teams and doing the finance side of that. So I'm hoping that BHP and everything that I'm doing will help me provide connections or get connections, and hopefully it'll be a good career.
Excellent. And what would each of you tell me is something people might not be aware of the Business Honors Program that is something you think you'd like to tell others about? Maybe you.
I guess what I would share that most people don't realize is that it truly is a student-run organization. When Britt said that she and the exec board put together the programs, I mean, they put together the programs. Every once in a while, Britt will contact me and say, I know you have a contact with, well, last week we were at SAS, and she knows that I have a contact at SAS. So she said, would you reach out to your contact at SAS to see if you can arrange a relationship, a visit? And I did. But as soon as I made the initial contact, she did the rest. I mean, she picked the date. She, had the input onto what kind of program they were going to provide for us. I mean, it is truly a student-run organization. I mean, the assistant director and I have really very little to do with the day-to-day running, which is a real virtue of the program because it gives a good group of students an opportunity to hone their management skills, apply some of that business knowledge that they use in really running an organization.
Would you add anything?
I'd agree. It's very hands-on. It gives you the opportunity to run something as well as be a part of something, give you networking opportunities like meeting with the Charlotte Hornets. Not everyone gets that chance to network with people like that and learn with people who have really been successful in life. And for that to just kind of be handed right to you, that great opportunity, so that when you do graduate, you're not just thrown out there. You have some experience and you feel a little bit more comfortable.
Excellent. Well, is there anything either one of you would like to add as we end this section of the program?
I've been working with the program for over 20 years. What I would say about the Business Honors students is that for virtually all of them, it is their core attachment to the campus. They're all engaged in other things. You can tell that from the things that Britts doing, but for almost virtually every Business Honors student, their main attachment to the campus is through the Business Honors program. And that attachment remains after the students graduate. I mentioned Ms. Julie Harris at Bank of America, and she came out to the campus and did a presentation and was asking me about various students that she was in school with and reporting back to me on some of the students that she was still connected to. So, you know, it's a really good group. It's a group that like to achieve at a very high level, but they also like to support one another as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's kind of like a family. We all lean on each other. We take our classes together. We support each other. We hang out outside of the program as well. So coming in, I came in as a freshman to the program, so it let me meet people who had some of the same motives as me. So people I knew that took academic interest and put that first. And so it really gave me that connection with other people who I'm still know I will be friends with when I graduate as well.
And I would add myself that I've had the opportunity to spend some time with the Business Honors Program students and been very inspired. So can keep up the wonderful work, and it's really nice to speak with both of you. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for the
having
opportunity,
us.
Kirsten.
Thanks.